everybody, Trisha Peridot. And this week, we're talking about what example am I really leading by? Now, you may wonder, what does that have to do with a lot of the other things that we talk about and work on? But it has a lot to do with it. It has a lot to do with your psyche. It has a lot to do with the functioning of your environment. So regardless of whether you're coming at this from the perspective of a parent, a social circle, or even your profession, you have this opportunity, a great opportunity to lead by a much better example out there in society. And so where I get a lot of my information, feedback, data is, one, obviously from my own personal learned and lived experience, but also from the vast array of people that I work with on a day-to-day basis. So, we have the stay-at-home moms, I have the stay-at-home dads, I have, you know, people with 9 to 5s, I have the entrepreneurs, the business owners. And so I have this wide range, and I also have a very wide range of age group. And so what I'm always asking parents, especially when they're struggling with their kids, and this is just the easiest example, but it can definitely be kind of filtered into those relationships at work and so on and so forth, right? Social circles, etc. You just want to take into consideration power differentials, obviously. But so you go, oh my gosh, I want my child to be watching their diet. They have a tendency to be heavy. Or, I want my daughter to have good body image, and I want her to have, to feel secure and empowered, and so on and so forth. But what I don't hear when I'm having this communication with my clients about themselves in their own life and how they think and feel truly about themselves from within, and their actions and reactions, they don't match. Their desires for the other people in the world, whether that's how they're seen by others or how they're teaching others, doesn't match how they actually operate. And so this is why I'm constantly saying, no matter what the issue is, whether it's in your marriage or whatnot, you always have to start from within. You have to correct your part. It's really the only place you have control. So think about this. If you want your child to be health conscious about the foods that they eat, maybe you're noticing some draw and pull to sugar, you need to ask yourself, what is your relationship with sugar, or what was your relationship with sugar? And then also, what is your relationship with your physical body? What do you put out there? So if you have this internal negative dialogue, that's going to come out outwardly, even if you don't say it out loud to your child. They're going to be picking up on these cues. If you're restricting your food and you're doing things, or you're constantly on a diet, or you're always talking about these things, this is what we're teaching our kids. We're conditioning their behavior. And I bet, if anything, if you look at the generations before you, you can see the different things where it all ties together, that this is all conditioned behaviors. So if you are somebody that has this propensity to have this negative spiral going on in your mind, what are you talking about that? Because if you're not, then how are the people around you not also going to have these negative spirals? How is their stress levels not supposed to join your level and where you're at? Because you lead by the example of how your relationships are going to be developed. You're going to lead by the example of how those relationships function. And I don't care what those relationships are. If you're unsettled, unconfident, untrusting, anxious, sad, depressed in those relationships, that's what those relationships are going to be. Not only just for you, but for everybody involved in them. It is really hard for one person to be happy on all levels and have everybody else in that circle not be. Like, it's almost like everybody has a level of being empathic. Some people just don't take the time to see it or hear it or feel it, or even realize that that's what's going on and that's what's happening. But I mean, think about it. If your boss is super stressed out because their boss is all up on their case about something, then there's a trickle down effect. The same happens in a household. The same happens in a family. If mom doesn't have self-confidence or love for her physical body, how do you think that the children are going to think and feel? How do you think they're going to start looking at themselves? Well, if mom doesn't like her abdomen or her back or whatever it is, right? Pick and choose whatever. And I'm told over and over again that I look just like mom, then I'm going to start picking up on these self-conscious things that, maybe I need to be focused on and worried about. And so it's this whole cyclical event of sweeping things under the rug and not just talking out loud about them. So if you struggle with something like body image or, controlling binge eating or whatever, talk out loud about it. And don't hide it. Be able to laugh and say, you know what, I can't have one of those cookies because I'm not going to have one. I'm going to have 10. So, go ahead and enjoy. I know where my parameters are. I know where I have control and I know where I don't have control, and I'm going to choose to not engage in that plate of cookies. Same goes for alcohol. It goes for cigarettes. It goes for all of these things, right? If we are leading by example and we're talking out loud about where we have struggles, it normalizes. And in doing that, we can also start to create social change in the world. So I urge you to start taking some observation and really looking at what example am I truly leading by? Because most people think they're leading by great example by leaving their insecurities, anxieties, sadnesses, struggles, challenges, etc., all shoved up inside. But really what they're doing is they're hurting the circle, whatever that circle is, right? So we need to have open dialogue, but we also then, to follow that up, we need to learn effective communication. We need to learn how to present what that is in an effective way so that it'll incite change. It's exactly what we work on here at Turning Leaves. Absolutely. If any of this resonated to you, take a leap. Consultations are risk-free. Send me a message, get in the comments, text me, whatever. It's totally fine. I'm happy to spend 30 minutes with you to help you figure out if there's something that you can do going forward to help you be a better leader within your circle. Take care.